since I was a kid, I've always wanted a remote-controlled car, but they've always been way too expensive and the ones I saw all looked exactly the same. So today, I'm gonna make my very own one-of-one RC car out of cardboard, and it's gonna have everything a real vehicle would have. But to actually make that, we first need to get the electronics. And seeing as I'm in Japan right now, I can go to one of the biggest RC stores in the world. And after a long time of looking around the store, one of the workers chose a kit that will be perfect for my build. So I've laid out all the parts to start building the mechanism of the car, and the first step is to make the main gear system, which basically just connects to the motor and spins around to make the wheels work. And to start making this, I'm applying grease to the bearing and steel shaft and putting together what says is a spur gear. Also, this is my first time building an RC car, so I might say a few of these things wrong. Some of you guys were ruthless in the comments last video, so this time I'm gonna try to make no mistakes. Anyway, now we can just place that into the lower deck where everything will be going in. And to make the motor spin that around, like I said earlier, I'm making a differential gear, which basically just has a load of other tiny gears inside of it. It goes in this slot, and as you can see, when I move it around, the first piece spins. And on top of that goes the suspension arms, which I'm screwing on. You've probably realized the middle of the base is completely empty, but that's gonna change because now we can install the motor. It's quite easy. I'm just adding a cover and a plate to the end of it, which stops any dust from getting in, and I'm pretty sure those also cool it down. Once again, just screwing that all together, adding on another tiny gear and installing it into the build, the motor is fully secured. We've done a lot of the first part now, so we can start getting to the fun parts, and one of those is adding the axles, which are what the wheels connect to. It's actually quite complicated because of how many tiny parts you have to install. It took me like half an hour just to do this, so if you're making one yourself, make sure to read the instructions really carefully. But to be fair, it might just be me who takes that long. Okay, so I'm basically halfway done with the mechanics of the car before I move on to the cardboard. This took a lot of work and a lot of fixes. As you can see, when I move these, it moves where the wheels will be. And then I've also got this, which will turn the wheels, as you can see here. And yeah, the next step is to just do these electrics, and then we'll finally be able to move on to making the cardboard body for it. This is gonna be a lot more complicated than the last one I did, but we do have a guide this time, so it should be a bit easier. For this section, you're gonna need a charger, an ESC, a battery that's compatible with your build, and a receiver. But we might have a big problem. So it turns out that even after buying all the parts I should need, the box came with no receiver, meaning there's no way to connect my controller to the car. So I'm gonna have to order a new piece, wait for that to arrive, and then finish off the video. After around 3 days, it arrived, so we can start putting together our electronics. First, I'm plugging in the ESC to the battery, then connecting that to the receiver. But I couldn't get it to pair to the controller because the instructions were in Japanese, so I got an English version up on my phone to figure out how it worked. It's saying, turn the transmitter on. Now it says, while holding down the bind button on the receiver, turn the receiver on. We'll flash slowly, release the bind button, rapidly press this. It should be connected now. Watch, when I turn this on, it turns on. Okay, that should be done then, okay. The next part is just setting up your servo, which will control the car's steering. Yes! Oh my gosh. And putting together all of the electrics. I didn't get a recording of me putting this inside the car because it was getting so late, but here's how it ended up looking. So it's 12 AM right now, and we've been working at this for, I don't know, just hours and hours on end. And it's finally time to test out the electrics on this. So first things first, I need to turn this on. Okay, that works. Then I need to turn the transmitter on. Okay, that's on. The first thing we're gonna test is the steering. So when I turn this wheel, these should turn left and right. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, it actually works. And then now for the throttle, so when the wheels move the car, all I need to do is press this one. Okay, again, 3, 2, 1. They all worked. Okay, that's good. It's all working. And by attaching the wheels, the first two parts are completely finished, which means we can move on to building the body out of cardboard. It needs to be quite thick to withstand any crashes, so this cardboard box will be perfect. So my plan is to cut all of this down into a few big squares, cut them all down so they match the size of the car, and then put a few holes in to fit the lights. And whilst I do that, I want to quickly say that this is my third video on the channel, so if you're enjoying it so far, you might as well leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So now that we've cut all this cardboard, I'm going to show you my plan that I've got for the car. I was going to do this more complicated version, but because we're working with cardboard, it's going to be really difficult to do. So this right here is the final version we're working with. Altogether, there's 5 sides to this, so I'm sketching them out so they match the size of the car exactly and cutting it with a ruler and a blade. And to make sure the roof stays in place, I'm cutting some holes which the rods will go through. Now we can get to sticking it all together, and to do that, I'm using the glue gun. Not gonna lie, this thing is probably the best tool you can get. It sticks basically anything together. I also said I was gonna add some lights to it, so let me show you how I'm gonna do that. This is a tiny battery, and these are 6 lights that I'm gonna connect onto here, have it at the front and the back like a real car would, and it should look really cool when it gets to the night. First, I need to join the light wires to a connector with some tape so that it can be powered by the battery just like this. Then make 4 holes at the back and 2 at the front to put the bulbs through. To make sure they stay in position, I'm adding more hot glue, and finally, by taping the battery and wires down, the body is fully done. So as you can see, we've got the lights here, and I also added a number plate because I thought that'd be quite cool to add. And we've also got the back lights. We've got all the electric, so it's all wired up into this battery, and when I plug this in, it's gonna turn on. So let's see if this works. I'm just gonna put this here, and oh my gosh, look at that. Yo, that's actually really, really cool. So I think it's time to bring it outside and put it to the test. So as you can see here, we've got everything ready. We've got the mechanics, the electrics, everything here. We've got the controller ready, and we've also got this. So the first thing we need to do is turn on these lights. Yes, okay, those lights are on. So 2 front lights, 4 back lights. The next, we're gonna plug this in, and then also turn this on. Okay, that's connected. As you can see, it's moving. Then we're gonna just place this on using these top bits, just like so. That looks like it's ready to go. And after countless days and nights of work, we're finally gonna see how fast this thing goes. And make sure you stick till the end because I'm gonna do an even crazier test after this. Okay, so on the count of 3, do you wanna give a countdown? And as I was driving it, my friend gave me a crazy idea. Unless you wanna, oh yeah, do you wanna do a race? Oh yeah, that would actually be good. Yo, we're coming up with these ideas. Okay, hold up. The plan is that my friend will race the car in the straight road to see which one will be faster. I think the car has a good chance of winning because of what we just saw, but if he's a good sprinter, it's gonna have no chance. Okay, so we've got everything set up. As you can see, we've got the car there, we've got Rohan there, and we're gonna see who is gonna win in a race. After the countdown, it's gonna start, so make your predictions now. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh! And the car wins! Yo, you just got beat by a toy car, bro. To be fair, it's quite close, but as you can see, this car that I made entirely out of cardboard and electronics beat a pro sprinter.
Pro sprinter.
Well, maybe not a pro sprinter, but with that being said, I think this was a huge improvement compared to the plane I made last video. And I'm actually really surprised with how fast I can make this thing go. Anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe like usual, leave any suggestions in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.